Hello everyone, and welcome to another Let's Play. This is Quest for Glory 4, and I am your host, Anna Mardal. Alright, when we last left off, we had taken a secret passage to a castle, and the only place safe really to rest in this in this place is in this hallway.
You straighten out. You straight.
Stop it.
After some. You straight.
It seems kind of nerve-wracking to rest here, but I do kind of understand it. In theory, nothing can really sneak up on us without us being able to see them for quite a ways away in either direction.
After some rest, you feel better.
Also, presumably,
After some.
probably the castle inhabitants don't spend a lot of time going to the dungeon. So, if you're gonna rest in a castle full of vampires, during the day, when they're probably all in their coffins, and at the far side of the castle where nobody visits, is probably your best bet. But I'm getting ahead of ourselves. When we last left off, we had taken a secret passage to the Borgov Castle, and we found a little vampire girl, specifically Tanya, as a little vampire. And we overheard Katrina talking with, of all people, Aravis, who we thought we defeated in Quest for Glory 2. We killed him. He died. His body disappeared. We knew that. We thought someone took his body. But what we had not, up to this point, considered was that maybe his body disappeared because it rose from the dead as a vampire and shuffled off. Or walked off. I suppose vampires don't need to shuffle. We did not consider that possibility because it seemed pretty ludicrous on a scale of 1 to 10, Occam's razor-wise. When a body goes missing, you don't just immediately leap to, well, obviously, they were a vampire. We saw Aravis during the day. He wasn't a vampire. He wasn't a vampire until, presumably, he died. Magda did tell us that there was a special type of vampire that, if somebody was given a vampire's blood, they would kind of become a pre-vampire where they'd be alive and they could live on and eventually die of natural causes, but once they did die, they'd come back as a vampire. So we also know from both the tarot readings and from overhearing Aravis and Katrina's conversation that Aravis is bound to her in some way. She's his master. And he hates her and wants to have his revenge on her. We did not ever really understand in Quest for Glory 2 why Aravis was trying to summon Iblis to cast eternal night over the world and give him total power and yeah, I don't know, whatever else he was all going to do. Becomes a little bit more clear why Aravis would want total power beyond just because total power is super cool. Because if he's bound to Katrina, and if he hates that and hates her, then presumably the thing he would use that total power to do is to unbind himself, get rid of her, kill her, subjugate her, whatever floats your fancy. So a lot of things are falling into place. A lot of things are falling into place. The foreigner that the gatekeeper saw and that Davy saw that turned into a bat. Atavis, vampire. We knew the foreigner had arrived here recently. Atavis was killed recently. So we must have killed him as a human, and he rose as a vampire, and he came back. That's why we didn't find his body at the end of Quest for Glory 2, beginning of Quest for Glory 3. He must be why we were summoned here. At the end of Quest for Glory 3, we're summoned, and we saw someone that, in retrospect, was Atavis, and then a shadowy cloaked figure. Katrina must have been wanting a hero for something, and Atavis must have told her how he died and came back as a vampire, and her servant or slave or apprentice or whatever, and she must have seen an opportunity that, oh, hey, that's a guy I could use. Let's bring him here. So presumably the reason that we're here, the reason that the castle resident summoned us, is because Atavis either wanted us here and put the idea to her, or she wanted us here after hearing about how he died. One of those. So Katrina's been lying to us all this time. Atavis is our enemy and has been here all this time. It's a lot to take in. But God, everything makes sense now. The man in the reading, the ill-fated, ill-omened man who wishes us ill, the one who's bound and doesn't take his bondage lightly, Atavis. Everything makes sense. Everything falls into place. The things that didn't make sense were things that Katrina told us that didn't fit. And the reason her stuff didn't fit was because she's lying to us, was lying to us. So yeah, that really sucks. A lot, actually. And it's kind of sad because we liked her. So let's go. I don't want to leave without Tanya. Let's go get Tanya. Where's Tanya? Did they take her away?
The monster doesn't seem to like you letting light into the room. Maybe you would have better luck at night.
Oh, silly me. When we rested at the bench, obviously it's daytime now, and Tanya, being a vampire, is asleep and weak during the day. So Toby is literally there not only to be her playmate, but to also protect her from anyone who might come in to hurt her or come to take her back. Thankfully, Katrina isn't interested in visiting Tanya during. Well, I guess if she's a vampire, she can't visit during the day either. So it's their early morning now. So let's do this before breakfast time. God, what the hell does Tanya eat? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Toby? Oh. What does he want this time, Toby? Oh.
You say hello.
Hello.
same thing as before. Again, the same talkies. Can we tell about the innkeepers?
You tell her about the innkeepers.
I miss my mommy and my daddy. But I can never go home. Not now. Toby says this is my home now.
Man, we're not even allowed in to see her. Oh, the Dama voice said we should give her the doll.
What is that? Toby, let him in. Toby, he has our dolly.
Yes, we are friends.
Vanna, I thought I lost you. Look, Toby, it's Vanna. Thank you for bringing her to me. I thought she was lost. Where did you find her?
Okay, we gotta... Okay, let's talk to Toby first.
Toby says Aunt Trina is his master. She sent Toby to be my friend so I would never have to be afraid of the night again. Yeah. Toby says I'm not a bad thing. It's just Mommy and Daddy who think I'm a bad thing now, but I'm not their child now anymore.
Oh, honey.
Toby says I have to stay in the castle. People might get scared and try to hurt me in the town. And I have to go to bed in the daytime now. He says you should go because you make me sad. Thinking of my mommy and daddy makes me sad. Toby says he wants me to be happy and he'll do anything for me. He says he'd take me back to the inn, but someone would try to hurt me, so he won't. Toby gave her to me. Mommy didn't like her. She kept trying to make me tell where I got Vanna from. Mommy wouldn't let me play with her. I was afraid Mommy wouldn't let me play with Toby anymore. Toby was my only friend. I didn't want my mommy to make Toby go away. I told Toby all about it, and Toby brought me here to Aunt Trina. She never takes my toys or friends away. Never. Mommy and I worked hard all the time to keep the inn nice and clean. And then my mommy, she never had time to play or sing anymore. And when it got night, she made me go to bed all by myself in the dark. It was really scary. I was afraid the bad things would get me. But nobody heard me when I cried. When I went out to the inn, Daddy would yell at me to get back to bed. I was scared. Daddy wouldn't let me have a candle or anything. He said it would bring the bad things. I didn't like the dark. But then, Toby came to my window at night. He would hold me, and he would talk to me, and he would tell me he would keep the bad things away from me all night. And I didn't have to be scared again, because I had Toby. When my mommy took my doll away, I was afraid she'd make Toby go away too, so I went away with Toby. Now I'm not afraid of the dark. I like the night. Aunt Trina says the bad things will never get me now, and I have Toby to take care of me. But sometimes, I still miss my mommy.
So, I mean, it doesn't sound like Bella and Yuri handled their fears in the best, most ideal manner. But this is like a domino series of tragedies knocking one over the other, that because Mordavia has become this dangerous place because of the Dark One, parents are scared for their children, and that fear is handled poorly, and the next thing you know, the dangerous things have gotten the children because the children were so scared of the dangerous things that they ran right into their arms. And it's a terrible tragedy, and it's coming back to heroism being about restoring things. Tanya's lost her life, and somehow we need to restore that life.
My daddy used to be happy. He would take me out walking around and talking to everyone in town, and the inn was always busy with new people to talk to, and I could stay up and dance while my mommy sang for people. Then the rains came, and then people didn't come to the inn anymore, and Daddy said that there were too many bad things. He wouldn't take me walking anymore. He made me go to bed when it got dark, and he said the bad things would try to get me. I can't go home again. And Aunt Tina says that this is my home now. She says that my mommy and daddy will think I'm a bad thing now, and that they won't love me anymore. Toby says this is my home now, and he loves me very much. I wish my mommy and daddy didn't think I was a bad thing. Then maybe Toby and I could visit them.
Oh. And I'm sure Katrina had her reasons for turning Tanya into an undead, but it still was not the right thing to do. Oh, so how do we fix this?
You say,
Hi! Have you come to play with Toby and me and Vanna?
Let's tell her about the inn.
you tell her about the inn and how sad it is without her.
If I went back to the inn, I'd never be afraid of the dark again. Toby says that everyone would be afraid of me now. I don't want them to be afraid of me.
You tell Tanya how her mummy misses her.
I miss my mommy too. Sometimes I want to cry, but I can't anymore. I just feel sad.
She can't cry anymore. Oh. We gotta tell her about the staff.
You tell about Irana's staff and how it can make Tanya back into a real little girl again.
I like the staff. It always made such pretty flowers in town. You say it will make me all better and I won't be a bad thing anymore?
You nod your head.
Oh, Toby, I can see my mommy and daddy again. Toby asks, what else will the staff do?
You try to explain about sacrifice.
Toby says he understands. He says you should take us to the staff now, so I can be with my mommy and daddy again. Oh, it feels weird here.
Smash cut to the
Kinda happy.
staff.
Icky. I'm scared.
Oh.
I know you'll protect me, Toby, but who will protect you? Okay, Toby. I'll protect you.
You cast the ritual of release.
The sacrifice of life for love. Your love for the child is great.
You see Toby silently nod his head.
Will you trade your life to give life to the child? Will you die willingly for the one you love?
No, Toby, no!
So shall the sacrifice be done. So is the sacrifice complete. I am again the staff of Irana.
You feel Irana's staff become a part of you. Now it is your staff as well when you choose to summon it.
I'm so sorry, Toby. I didn't protect you too good, did I? I love you too, Toby.
You take the sobbing child in your arms and carry her to the inn. You awaken her parents and are overwhelmed by their gratitude and joy. It is long before you manage to escape to the peace of your own room for what is left of the night. You awaken as the sun begins to rise.
So that was a lot of emotions, and I'm not going to talk about them just yet because I want to finish the emotional gut punch by going downstairs and meeting with everybody. We have gut punches to do.
I must thank you for saving our Tanya. You have brought joy again into our lives. We are in your debt.
You are so welcome.
Oh, she is her joyful self again. The sound of a child's voice is the sweetest of music. We will do our best to show our love and never, never let her be afraid of the dark again. I have always found it difficult to express emotion. Mordavian men are not supposed to show such things. Yet I cried freely when you brought Tanya back to us. I cannot remember ever being so happy. I do not know what to make of Tanya's stories about vampires. It is hard to imagine my lovely daughter as an undead. Gladly, though, I would go to the castle and drive a stake through the heart of the one who stole our daughter from us.
Alright, let's ask her about Atavis.
I didn't like him. He didn't like me. He didn't like Katrina either. They were always having fights, but he had to do what she told him to do, and that made him very mad. I liked Trina. She was kind to me and gave me lots of nice things. She even taught me to read and write, but I'll never go back to her. I want to stay with my mommy and daddy.
I'm glad, baby.
Toby was my best friend in all the world. And I miss him. I wish he could come and live with us here.
I'm sorry, sweetheart.
I'm happy to be home again. Everyone in town has come to see me and talk to me, and it's fun to be important. I like it.
Alright, let's sit down for breakfast. Although I don't feel like Bella should be forced to be making us breakfast, but I'd like to see what she has to say.
It's sausage.
I don't know how we can ever thank you enough. It's such a joy to have my little Tanya home again. my Tanya is her cheerful, loving self again. I could never thank you enough for the kindness you have shown us all. I knew Tanya was alive somewhere. I never lost hope that she would return.
Bella, you heard his story. Tanya was dead, an undead, a Nosferatu.
She is fine right now, isn't she? As long as she's alive and well, what does it matter?
Oh, Bella, never change.
I don't understand with all this talk about vampires and Tanya. She has returned healthy and happy, and this is what's important. Of course, I will never forgive the woman who stole my baby from me. Still, I think I can understand her a little bit. I, too, have always wanted a child such as Tanya. I am only overjoyed to have my Tanya back.
I'm happy you're happy. Look at the little family together.
Remind the innkeeper that the vampires are still in the castle, and there may be other attempts at getting Tanya.
We understand, and we will make certain no vampire can come near her again.
You tell again how Toby sacrificed himself for Tanya.
He may have looked like a monster, but he obviously had a heart and mind of great kindness.
Okay. So, I feel very happy about restoring this little family back to, Tanya's alive and everyone's happy to have her home. I think that's such a good thing.
You have brought real joy to Mordavia by bringing Tanya back. When she was stolen, it was as if all the laughter here had been taken as well. You gave us back our happiness. The days are getting cooler and shorter. Winter is approaching.
Let's do a quick talk to everyone and see if anything's changed.
I know only what legends tell.
Nothing's changed. So those are the same as before. Surely Olga will have something to say.
The talk is that you're a real hero. People say you returned little Tanya to her parents. My. Yeah, Bella's a... Bella.
Really? Nothing's changed? Okay, we've got Tanya at
I
least.
heard you really had a great adventure bringing Tanya back from that awful castle. Did you really have to fight hundreds of horrible monsters without even a sword? That's wonderful!
That's not quite how it went.
The castle... Well, not...
Okay, those have not changed.
Yeah,
So, we did a good deed in that we restored Tanya to her family. But it is certainly very sad that Toby died. And we have the staff of Irana now. And the staff
Beautiful.
protected the townspeople from the undead. I don't know if they're still protected with the staff gun. That's a good question. We should go ask Magda about that, actually, maybe. So, I wanted to talk about some things. The first time I played through this, it felt a little random that Irana's staff had this spell stored in it to sacrifice life for love. And also that it didn't want to come out of the rock until it had done this. If you tried to touch it, it says, "This first I must do." You have to make the sacrifice before it's willing to be taken out. And plot-wise, it's plot point, so okay, rolled with it. But it doesn't, it felt a little strange, like, if you take away the plot reason for why that is needed, why is it there? And I still don't have a perfectly good explanation for this, so I'm theorizing out loud here. We know from the Irana dreams that her staff was separated from her in the battle, and when the darkness moved to destroy her, she used the last source of magic she had. She pulled on her own life force, which is kind of essentially what, the fictional concept of blood magic. You turn life force into magic, but she was turning her own life force into magic. So she sacrificed herself to get a little bit of magic, just enough to stop the summoning of the Dark One and save the valley. She sacrificed herself to give others life. Not in the sense of bringing them back from the dead, but in the sense of keeping them alive by not letting the Dark One come into this world and kill everyone. I wonder if the reason for why the staff needs to perform a sacrifice of life for love is because even though it was separated from Irana, it felt some kind of magical, metaphysical echo of her actions, her last action, where she sacrificed life for love. And now the staff is trapped in some kind of limbo where it needs to facilitate a sacrifice of life for love until it can kind of catch up and move forward, move on from that moment. To me, that made more sense than her just randomly having the spell in her staff, and the staff for some reason decides it needs to discharge that spell. Like, I've still got an empty charge on here, or, you've got to empty it all out before you can have the staff, so find someone who needs this last spell I haven't used. That didn't really make a lot of sense. It didn't even really make a lot of sense that her staff would have a spell to sacrifice life for love, because that does feel very blood magic-y, and Irana is not a blood magic person. We've never seen her take a life at all. So taking a life, even for a noble cause, to give someone else life, just doesn't really feel like her. But if we look at it from the position of she sacrificed her life for love of the world, kind of, now she's, what's the TV trope? Everyone is Jesus in purgatory. Now Irana is Jesus in purgatory. She actually is sort of Jesus in purgatory, because she's stuck in a limbo stasis, and she did sacrifice herself for everyone else out of love. My God, TV tropes was right. But if we look at what Irana did, her sacrifice of life, to give life to others out of love, knowing what she was doing and choosing to do it anyway. And if we say, okay, so what if the staff is trying to do the same thing in order to sort of get past that moment or reset or catch up with its mistress or however metaphysically, magiphysically you want it to go. To me, that makes more sense than any other explanation I can think of. So thematically, the staff is walking in Irana's footsteps. Now, obviously, doylistically, the reason is because they had a little vampire child and they wanted you to fix that before you could finish the game. Hey, guys. How's it hanging? Nobody come out to meet me? Jeez.
In my dreams last night, I heard Irana's staff speak. It said the sacrifice had been made, the dead had risen, and the living had died. When I awoke, I feared it was you who made the sacrifice. I sent Davy to discover the truth. He climbed over the wall and started sniffing around where the staff had been. He became scared when he caught your scent there, but then he scented you going with the child to the inn. It is not our way to be concerned about outsiders. You have certainly become more than an outsider to us.
Well, I don't know that I've done anything to deserve that, but you seem to believe that I'll save the entire valley, so I guess it makes sense.
It is good to see you again.
You tell about Tanya, Toby, and the staff.
So the child has been restored to life through the sacrifice of Toby, and the staff of Irana is in your possession. Oh, with this you have undoubtedly angered someone very powerful. I would be very careful traveling at night if I were you.
That's a really good point. I didn't want to leave the castle without Tanya, but I didn't really think about what was going to happen next. Katrina is apparently an incredibly powerful vampire who teleported us here against our will. She's not going to be happy with us. We warned the innkeepers to take care because we want them to take good care of Tanya and not lose her again, but we hadn't really thought about how this is going to affect us.
There were many necrotars out hunting last night. It was difficult to avoid them. Oh, they are tough and hard to outrun.
That's not a good sign either.
I was injured in the leg the other night when a necrotar tried to steal the rabbit I had caught. Fortunately, the pack was not far away. They dragged it off me, and I was able to tear out its throat. Ugh, those things are nasty in a fight. I would not care to face one alone.
Magda, can we talk about vampires?
Listen, it is said that the only certain way to kill a vampire is to drive a wooden stake through its heart. This can only be done while the creature is helpless during the day. The Nosferatu have great powers of enchantment, and those foolish enough to face a vampire by night usually wind up feeding its lust for blood.
Wait, what?
The Nosferatu have great power.
Alright, don't face it by night. Unless you have a doll and can convince it that, and yeah, even then it's...
That is all I know of the vision. I do sense that you have the staff now. Oh, it is very powerful and has a mind of its own, as I am sure you will find. But I have had a great deal of difficulty sleeping. My dreams disturb me very much. Foreknowledge is as much a curse as a gift.
I would
Do
think
not
so.
speak of it. Do not think of it, for it will drive you mad.
The last time we tried to pay her for a reading, she said that the cards weren't cooperating, but hey, let's try.
Forgive me.
Okay, nope.
You, s-
Off we go.
you s-
May your luck hold true. Be wary, for your enemies may soon act against you.
So, it probably isn't a good idea to be out in the woods at night, but at night is when we met with the fairies, and they wanted to see Irana's staff for themselves. They didn't say why, but
your magical...
maybe they just want to summon staff spell. What happens if I summon it? Yep, that's a staff. Maybe they just maybe they're staff groupies and they just really want to see it. They haven't technically hurt us, except for sort of drugging us a little bit and pushing us over. But I mean, they're fairies, so... Are they even fae folk if they don't drug you and give you a slight push over?
After...
I submit, no, they are not.
After some...
Okay. Kind of expected them to be there. Don't crash. Don't you crash.
You have a very bad feeling. The air is full of hostile vibrations.
Why? I thought we were friends. Hi?
The human has returned with the staff. We shall finally gain what we have sought for so long. Staff of Irana, hear my command. I, Tatiana, queen of the fairy folk, summon thee and claim thee for my own. Staff, hear my command. Thou shalt hear and obey my words. I am thy master now.
You feel an incredible rush of magical energy filling you. It tickles. You hear a voice in your head.
I am now the staff of the hero.
He is the hand of destiny, and shall restore the spirit of Irana.
So, the human has claimed the staff of Irana? Then by his death, the staff shall be mine.
Dude!
Gods, destroy that human creature!
Not cool. The human has a spell which reverses spells. Use your area attacks. Jerk. You find yourself magically trapped. Confusing thoughts swirl through your mind. making it impossible to cast your spell. Hostile magic can be harmful to your health. Maybe you'd do better if you had a staff of assistance, or if you used the staff to assist you. I did! Don't know what else I was supposed to do.
You...
Oh, joy.
You...
He is God.
Okay, so let's save a test file. Wait, which one is health? Yellow. That's so weird. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Ritual release? I frickin' summoned the staff! Oh, God. I am in no mood. It just says fight until the fairies give up.
You cast the... You cast...
The human has...
Hang on a second. Maybe the speed matters? Nope. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do, to be honest.
You cast...
The...
Alright, spells directed at them do nothing. Wait, what's this? Resistance?
You cast the resist...
Where did that come from? Resistance to elemental forces. Good to know? Where did that come from? Why isn't it hitting this chick over here? There we go. A little concerned about the fact that it's not actually hitting her. Whoops. Give me my resistance back. Wore off. Okay, how do I hit this chick? Because I can't hit the Fairy Queen because she's... Why aren't they giving up? What is broken? A voice sounds in your mind. Hand of destiny, you are now triumphant. She who would use me for her own glory is defeated. You shall now have the spell of resistance. Oh, okay. You now have a paper which says, Ritual of the Dark One, Heart of Darkness. You put it away. Your resistance spell is expired. Great. So, throwing this out here, maybe that's the sort of spell that when it shows up you should tell me, so I'm not desperately going through my spells going, what do I use? What do I use? But fine, it's fine, whatever. We defeated the fairies. Well done, all of us. Sure, chase me. You're slower than me, buddy. So all you're doing is... God, that's pretty music, isn't it? All you're doing is keeping other things off my tail. And I don't want to stay out here because there's a vampire with my name on her,
You did your reversal.
hit list.
Your reversal spell has worn. You hear movement on the other side of the door. After a few minutes, you hear someone removing the bar and unlocking the bolts on the other side of the door.
Okay, let's get some foods.
You get a...
Hey, everybody. Do you have anything new to say?
Gotta tell you, there's many monsters out there roaming the night in Mordavia.
They admit it.
Yeah, many an eldritch creature crawls out of the dark. I know most of them.
It's a good thing we stay safe within the town walls and doors so we don't have to meet 'em.
All right, fine, so sue me. Maybe we do gossip once in a while.
You must mean my apartment. We know of no cave in Mordavia.
Perhaps we do tell things
Point
about
is,
others
we
occasionally.
never repeat gossip. Because we get it right the first time.
Actually, this quote-unquote gossip is about you.
Yeah, he's right, okay? Someone overheard Tanya playing where the staff used to be.
She was singing Trina's in love. Trina loves a human. Trina's in love. Kind of a good beatin'.
And, since you're the only alleged human having any dealings with that particular vampire...
We thought you just might be interested in that story before we go to the Inquirer.
You know, you can never tell about some people. Unless, of course, you're a gossip.
Well, sport fans, things are pretty quiet around here. Yuri and Bella are happy that Tanya's back.
Yeah, they're okay, you know? Even Igor's back to his old self. We even speak to him occasionally now.
There's even a rumor going around that Boris and Olga may be getting together again.
On the other hand, there are vampires in the castle.
Yeah, and it's rough, are you kidding? I mean, that swamp still cuts us off from the rest of the world.
Yeah, and the the cave still darkly influences everything that goes on here in sleepy Mordavia.
So, we were a skosh curious about you.
Yeah, I mean, you're okay. But when are you gonna get around to taking care of all the rest of our problems?
After all, you're supposed to be the hero around here.
You start to tell them of your plans and the dangers you face.
Color me crazy, but maybe it's better we don't know all the details.
Yeah, I think we'll sleep better if we don't.
Yeah, what we don't know won't give us nightmares.
Bless.
One dark day, a large, fragrant stranger came to town.
Oh, I remember. He was dressed in dark clothes, and he wore a hood over his head, so we couldn't quite see his face. I thought it was Tony Fields.
He spoke in a deep, sibilant voice reminiscent of Vincent Price, and had a cruel chuckle.
Moseyed on up to each and every elephant in Mordavia, and whispered a little something in its ear.
Yeah, and by the next day, all the elephants had left town.
I just can't bear this. You gotta tell it.
After that, only the stranger was left in town.
I ran up to him. I asked him, "What have you done? What did you say to the elephants? My wife left me!"
Then he just threw off his clothes and cape, exposing himself to the whole world, and revealed that he was an elephant.
Yeah, he said, "Ha ha, you fools! I am an elephant!"
Then he just packed up his trunk and left forever.
But to this day, on dark, cold nights, you can still hear the distant echoes of elephants trumpeting their mournful cries. My wife, how I miss her.
And I call out, "You forgot to write! Not even a fax!" The elephants don't listen, and they never remember.
I honestly don't know what the elephant in-joke was, and I don't think it was worth it, but it is what it is.
We do not dare to speak of the Dark One, for that way lies madness and despair. I'm sorry, I cannot help you.
That's alright.
I am well and very happy. She is well. She helps her mother during the day, and we make certain she is safe at night. No one will ever steal her from us again.
Oh my gosh, Bella's lifting weights in the background. I love her. Bless her. She smokes and lifts weights.
While Tanya was away from us, she learned to read and write. Now she is teaching me to read. I have always wanted to learn how to read. Together, Tanya and I will teach all the women of the town to read and write.
Why would a woman need to read or write? That is like teaching a horse to dance.
Yuri, you and I will have a talk later. Tonight, in fact.
Nice.
I couldn't be happier. My baby is back and everyone is well here. I don't know much about that, but it's supposed to be bad luck to speak of it. Tui, tui. It was supposed to have something to do with an old monastery and a dark cult that worshipped it. Tui. And that it had something to do with Irana's death, and rumors that say it is the cause of all the problems here in Mordavia. Other than that, I can't tell you anything.
Well, that was a lot though. Thank you. Alright, let's sleep inside the inn tonight.
You unlock the door to your room and go in.
Actually, let's do a couple things. First and foremost, let's see if we can talk to the domovoi.
After
1, 2.
You're...
He's not there. Well, John Lavoyer's shy, and maybe he doesn't appear if there's not really any reason for him to. I can understand that.
You awaken as the sun begins to...
There is a paper.
The note says, "Meet me at the castle gates tonight. We have much to talk about. Katrina."
Well, she didn't threaten to fillet the flesh from our bones. And we do have a lot to talk about. Like her hobbies of kidnapping children and kidnapping me and just kidnapping in general.
You are always on the go, my friend.
Maybe she's willing to put aside the differences between us and work together for whatever she wants these rituals for. I mean, she needs the rituals. Apparently, she wants them. So how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a lot of rituals. So maybe it's a good idea to meet her tonight. But that will have to wait until the next video because we have reached the end of this one. And if we were to look at our stats, just out of curiosity, our intelligence is very high. Whoops, sorry, did not mean to hit the microphone. Our intelligence is very high. Our agility still has never once gone up. Don't know how you're supposed to up that. I guess we could look it up real quick. Quest for glory for skills. Magic, communication, climbing, ironically, has gone up quite a bit because of the gate. Agility will increase fastest as you practice dodge, but will also go up practicing weapon use. So since we're not practicing either of those, I guess it doesn't do anything. So alright, fair enough. Luck is the hardest skill to raise. That's why we dumped all of our 100 points into that. That's interesting. Raise Flame Dart, Force Bolt, Lightning Ball, and Frostbite by hitting the X, C, V, and B keys on the keyboard once in combat. I did not know about those shortcuts. Raise Zap by casting it once in combat, then killing your opponent. You should get 10 points every time. Practice most spells in an area that won't let you cast them. For example, cast Glide in the staff room in town. Even though it doesn't let you cast it, you still use mana and gain in spell skill, but you won't have to watch the animations for the spell every time. Practice staff spells with a crosshair in the staff area too. But with these, you can just hold down the Enter key. Don't worry about having to scroll down to recast a spell. If it is at the bottom of the spell list, just double click on the magic icon at the top of the screen and you will recast the last spell you cast. Oh my god! Has that always been a thing? Because I didn't know about that in 3. Raise resistance by casting Summon Staff, then casting once. Walk on screen so your staff goes away. Now double click the magic icon to recast resistance without the staff. You will use 10 mana every time and resistance will go up as you recast it. Amazing. Amazing. That's amazing. Communication rises every time you say something without a close-up of the person's face, such as when you greet or say goodbye. To raise it quickly, go up to someone such as Igor, turn the audio off, and click talk on yourself and greet Igor. Hold a wait over the Enter key and the communication will go up quickly. There's a bug with stealth. Stealth will go up if you sneak everywhere, but it stops going up after a certain point. To make it go up, click on sneak, then click on walk so that you alternate between sneaking and walking. Keep repeating this over and over and check your stats often. How about no? There's an infinite dagger exploit. Climbing is easy to raise. Noticing that. Okay. And you can grind honor by bringing the Ruzalka flowers. Which we'll do when we're a paladin and we actually care about honor. So, I do think it's a testament of how good the story is that I don't actually feel the need to. I guess we could have been spending all these times that I just rest, sleep, sleep. I guess all those days I could have been grinding skills, and probably should have been, but there's been more than enough content with talking to people and exploring the world that I haven't really felt the need to grind stats, and that's very unusual for me because I was obsessive over the stat grinding in like Quest for Glory 2. That was, you know, I lived and breathed those stats going up. So the fact that I don't hear is I'm not sure why. It's kind of a neat, relaxing feeling to be more taken in by the story than by the little numbers next to my character. So that's nice. That doesn't usually happen to something in this game short circuits or bypasses my OCD, and I like that. So sorry that I got distracted there. That took us over the hour mark. When we come back, yeah, I guess we'll go talk to Katrina. We might as well. I think that's better than trying to hide in the town, especially since we're not protected in the town. The staff isn't there to protect us anymore. So snubbing her and making an enemy of her would probably be more dangerous at this point than going and talking to her and saying, okay, yes, look, I took your child, but first of all, she wasn't yours, and second of all, let's be adults about this, and what do you want, and can we come to some kind of an arrangement? Let's at least hear what she has to say. She owes us an explanation. She's been lying to us. She's been pulling our chain. She's been not telling us the truth. The whole, I had a favor to ask you, but I don't even know if I can trust you, you know, and trying to manipulate us. And let's speak plainly. And if that's what this takes, that we have to go to the castle gates at night and have a sit down, talk it out chat, fine. So when we come back, we will meet Katrina at night on her own ground, on her own terms, and we'll sort this out like adults. This has been Quest for Glory 4. My name is Anna Mardall, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.